passionate leaders in the community and upcoming leaders. And I just wanted to take an opportunity to introduce them and to let you guys know that if you're interested in participating in ELR next year, applications will be open, I believe, in March of next year to participate in the group. It is a really good way to learn about the resources in the community that you may or may not know about. And even if you do, it's kind of an intimate behind the scenes look at those. Also, it's kind of we called it speed dating because you get to meet with the network of people every month and learn them and learn their industry. And I tell you what, the first meeting we had last week or 2 weeks ago, I felt like this group was changing the world in just like a 20-minute conversation, which was really amazing. People crossing over for the betterment of the community. So very quickly, I want to introduce, if my ELR class can stand up, and I'll just quickly name you if you can hold your applause till the very end. I have Miss Kathy Thaler. I'm doing this from memory, so I'm going to really try hard. Kathy Thaler from Alterra Credit Union, Assistant City Manager Roger Bradley from the City of Corona, Rob Ibbotson from Corona-Norco Unified School District, Mr. Rogelio Padilla from Corona-Norco Unified School District, Dr. Jason Parks from Norco College, Mr. Tyler Byrne back there from Jurupa Valley Chamber of Commerce, Ms. Janet Thompson, who owns a notary here locally. We have Denise Olguin from Corona-Norco United Way, Ms. Rebecca Spiegel from ABC Hopes, and Ms. Diane Summers from Kaiser Permanente, and a few others that were not able to make it today because we did get the invitation to them a little bit late, but they are here in spirit, and we look forward to a great ELR project this year that'll impact the community. So if you ever have questions about it, you can visit the website at the Chamber of Commerce, Corona Chamber, coc.org, I believe is the website. mychamber.org sounds better. Let me know after the meeting, talk to Bobby, talk to Anthony, and we'd love to have you apply and participate for next year's class. So thank you so much, everyone.
Great job. So Dr. Leah is going to do a memory class coming up and teach you how to remember people's names. Very good. That was awesome. I mean, wow. Half the time I call Bobby Frank, so I mean, when you can remember all those names and you just barely met them, so that's pretty cool. All right, so let's see. We've got Paul Bender-Badesha on deck, like I said. I want to thank you, Doctor, for the ELR program. And if those of you who don't know what ELR is, it's not a leadership training. It's for people that are already leaders. So it's really a great thing. So as I mentioned, the keys to sponsorship for the event. One of our other sponsors is Rhythm Tech Productions. And so Rhythm Tech Productions they're doing our sound and everything today. Great job that they do. TJ, if you go to their website, Rhythm Tech Productions, if you go to their website, you see all these great photos of all the different events they do. They do smaller events like this. They do big stage events. They do lighting. They did lighting for my daughter's wedding. They do some of the nonprofits I'm involved in. They do that. Apparently they do football fields too. Look at that. That's pretty cool. So you can see some of the work that they do. So support TJ. He helps out a lot in the community. He's a great guy. So support him. Plus he's got, I don't know how many kids now. So he needs your money and he needs your help. Because you know how expensive kids are. Chad knows expensive kids are. He's got a few. So make sure you support the local businesses and everything. So let's hear it for Rhythm Tech Productions. So after Paul Benda speaks, we're going to have our milestone members. So the milestone members can line up over on this side. And our 2022 board chair, Paul Bender-Badesha, is going to be flying out for Washington, D.C. shortly, but she stopped by here because she wants to talk to you, and she's got probably about 7 or 8 jokes on marriage that she wants to give to you before. So let's hear it for Paul Bender-Badesha, board chair.
Thank you. I only make those marriage jokes when John Wygant starts it off. He was pretty bad the last time, so he's kept the sex word out of his speech so far this morning. Good morning, and thank you all for being here. It really means a lot when you get up early and rearrange your schedule to come and join us. We are the universe keeps giving us signs that we're a very connected world. And we're here for each other, and yet despite it, we continue to find division. So what I love about our chamber and our city is that we always rise above it all and continue to support each other. On that note, we had a very moving and evocative 9/11 celebration or commemoration, but celebrating the lives of those nearly 3,000 who lost theirs last Sunday, and I want to thank Bobby Spiegel in particular, because he worked so hard to make it a phenomenal event. It was full of a diverse range of people, children, and it really brought home to me that behind every person that passed away, there was a family, and children who are now in their 20s, who were toddlers. Swati's here, and her cousin passed away. He was 3, right? The young boy, and he's now 24. So thank you everybody for that. As John said, we're off to Washington, D.C. today, so I'm kind of more casually dressed because we have to fly. And God, it's hard packing, right? So I think, talking about days, I think there should be a day for postmenopausal women. And I would like to know, I'm sure there's many of us in the room, because, oh man, it's hard. And yet we continue through it and work 14, 16-hour days, right, ladies? Okay. So there's probably some men thinking, oh yeah, I'll do something about that. I also want to acknowledge Hispanic Heritage Month as well. For me particularly, I'm so glad I came to Corona and Southern California. Our headquarters is in Oklahoma, and it's a totally different place to live. And not only because of the lack of diversity, although most of them claim they have native indigenous blood, but I don't know, they don't look it. But you know, they can't get, and now this is, well, they can't get the food that we get here. Thank you, Marta, for Eduardo's restaurant, but the food, the markets, and I can tell you that the Hispanic population, they are the backbone of my business. They are the backbone of our business in Corona, right? All of ours. So we really appreciate that. And not to get too political, but whereas the growing shortage of people will continue through this on-off recession, we need to find a long-term solution. And I believe that one of that might be an amnesty for people who are already here, but that's the reason my cousin's still here. He was deported 3 times, and obviously he's not Mexican, but he's Indian, and he came through 24 countries to get here, including Panama, and in 1987 he got his, thanks to Ronald Reagan, a great president, he got his green card, and he went on to build a business with 30 trucks and keep people employed. So there are advantages. Okay.
Take as long as you want.
You just come in here to stand handsome next to me. So the next thing I wanted to say was, I came up here with my Union Jack scarf this morning, and forgive me for indulging this, and I was so surprised myself that the death of Queen Elizabeth II affected me so deeply. And some of that is obviously, I'm an immigrant, and you know, as people know, I know there's a few of us in the room who were born somewhere else and moved here. Your heart kind of gets split between 2 countries. You're never kind of quite whole. And, but she was an amazing, remarkable monarch, and we will never see thank you for the pictures, we will never see her like again. There are some people that are only born once, and they have such an impact. She reigned for 70 years, and for many people in Britain, including my parents who moved there in '63, they have never known any other monarch. I never saw the Queen, now I regret that, but my mother-in-law did as a teenager in the Fiji Islands. So young Queen Elizabeth II at the age of 26 went to Fiji in 1953, and my mother-in-law actually got to see her. I think she was like 13 or 14. Monarchies, it's a complex subject, right? There are many atrocities, genocides, barbaric history has been done on the basis of royalty and kings and queens, and obviously your own history, or our own history now. Here, who was it, King George III, you kicked out, yeah, right? I did make a joke about him on July the 4th, but nobody got it, so That's your guys' history for you, I'm sorry, but it leaves a lot to be desired. What I do appreciate about the Queen is that as the sun set on the British Empire, and obviously India was one of those, many countries here, she did not stand in the way, and she embraced that change. And she was, so I know many of you have seen The Crown, I haven't actually yet, but in 1961, Queen Elizabeth danced with President Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana. It was she was pictured and filmed dancing with a black man in 1961, when probably she would have been lynched in this country, and black women still couldn't vote here. So she was way ahead of her time, and as many people have been saying, she was a mother and grandmother to so many of us, and it leaves a big void. But I hope what we can take from that is that despite the challenges that she faced, you know, she had obviously disappointments, as we all do with her children. Some of them, you know, they marry people they shouldn't, or they divorce them. They're friends with people they shouldn't be, right? But she carried on despite that. So thank you so much for allowing me to indulge her, and appreciate you all. See you next month. I get to MC the next one, so be prepared. Yeah.
Next month, you'll be out of here at noon. Oh, sorry. Pack a lunch next month. All right, Vice President of Operations for the Chamber of Commerce, Desiree. Let's hear it for Desiree.
Thank you, John, so much. Yes, we are here to recognize and show our appreciation to our milestone members. These members that we are about to recognize have continuously committed year after year to supporting our strong local economy. They will each have 1 minute to speak about their business, and if they go over, TJ will play this sound. They're indicating that their time is up. Also, please pose for a photo with our board chair, Palvinder Videsha, before returning to your table. Even though some are not able to join us this morning, please applaud each member as I say their name. A special thank you to Congressman Ken Calvert, Senator Richard Roth, Riverside County Supervisor Karen Spiegel, and the City of Corona's Mayor Wes Speake for providing certificates to each of our members. So let's begin with our members celebrating. We're gonna start with 5 years. First one is Atlas Pet Hospital. They're not here. We can clap. Next is Allied Pest Control. Come on up, Nick.
Good morning, Nicholas Capuano with Allied Pest Control. Good morning, Nicholas Capuano with Allied Pest Control, the best for less at killing pests. 5 years with the Chamber, truly privileged to be here. Actually going on 25 years of knowing the Spiegels. Thank you. We service Riverside County, San Bernardino County, and Orange County. Family owned and operated here in Corona for the last 20 years. And we're going on 10 plus years of the vendor for the city of Corona, so thank you. A lot of familiar faces in this room. Just want to say thank you for your business and also your business friendships. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. Also celebrating 5 years. The rest of my 5 years aren't here, so I guess we can applaud at the end. Homestart Realty and Loans, Lou LaRoe, the Riverside County Treasurer Tax Collector, and Serendipity Payroll. So I'll give them applause for 5 years with the Chamber. Next, celebrating 20 years with the Chamber, my pleasure to introduce Crossroads Christian Church.
Well, great to be here. I'm standing next to Pastor Joey Vargas, who, Joey, I think you've been part of the church all of those 20 years since we've been part of the Chamber, right? Joey leads our initiatives with the City of Corona Local Missions, helping with food pantry and then also housing the homeless, and so we're grateful for your endeavors. Crossroads Christian Church on a weekly basis touches the lives of just over 10,000 people between the church and school. About 1,600 parents have entrusted us with their children for education. Crossroads Christian Church in October will celebrate, brace yourself, its 130th birthday, 2 years older than the city of Corona. And so may we be that long with the Chamber of Corona as well. Great to be with you all today.
Thank you, Crossroads. Thank you so much. Next, we're going to go on to 35 years. My pleasure to introduce Downs Energy.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for inviting us here. And although we are celebrating 35 years today, our company has been involved with the Chamber for a very long time. Our first generation owner, Elvin Downs, was former president, three-time president of the Chamber. I believe he started back in the 1950s. But we are excited to still be around, thank God. But we are celebrating 82 years in business this year, and we are a fuel and lubricant distributor, and I'm here with Ron Skelski. But if you have any needs for fuel lubricants, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you all very much.
Thank you so much. Also celebrating 35 years, unable to be here, is McFadden Dale Industrial Hardware. And last but not least, our 50-year member unable to be here, it's Pavez Family LLC. Congratulations to all of our milestone members, and thank you all for your continued investment.
Thank you very much, Desiree. All right, well, I can't just not come up here and tell some jokes about politicians, right? Yeah, well, I once met an honest, caring politician that listened when I spoke, tried to help the country, then I woke up. Hey, if you're not part of the solution, you're probably running for president. All right. I remember when Halloween was the scariest night of the year. Now it's the election day. But I'm bumped. All right, so on. I have about 50 more, but Paul Bender took all my time. You're like, thank God. All right, on deck is our new chamber members that joined in August. You can line up. We've heard that the chamber is heading to Washington, D.C. We have a whole constituent of members that are heading to Washington, D.C. to meet with politicians and meet with different people in Washington. And remember, the chamber is an advocate for businesses all throughout, not just in Washington, but the state of California. And in order to do that, we have a whole group of people that work on that, headed by our own Jeff Miller, who helps us oversee the legislative action. So we spend a lot of time on fighting legislation that kills jobs in California. So part of your chamber membership dues would go to that, but we just don't have enough money for that. So we do big fundraisers for our legislative action. And one of the big fundraisers coming up is going to be on Thursday, October 20th. We have an outreach with policymakers and decision makers. There's more information on that. We're going to have an exclusive dinner for those sponsors. You're going to have an exclusive dinner with Supervisor Spiegel, Sheriff Bianco, and the DA Hestron. Only for those that are sponsoring, we'll have private dinner with them. And then we're opening up for reception for some other people. There's your QR code. Get information on that. We're limiting the number of people. The most for the dinner is 50. And then at the reception, we're going to limit that to maybe another 100, and that's it. So it's coming up on October 20th. Put that in your calendar. It's my pleasure to introduce Robert Yanez, man, mixing it up there. Yanez, Membership Development Coordinator for the Corona Chamber. Let's hear it for Robert. Got to keep applauding. He's not here yet. Keep going.
Can we have the ambassadors pick up the comments cards, please? So if you guys have comment cards for, yes, for our candidates, please, you'll see Jairo. Okay, if you guys raise your hands, they'll pick them up for you. Thank you very much. So, okay, thank you, John. Let's give a warm welcome to our newest members that joined in the month of August. These members have been invited to the mic to share a 30-second intro about their business. If they start to go over, TJ will play this sound. That means your time is up. We encourage you all to connect with them after the program today. Not all of them could join us today, but we want to acknowledge and welcome them to our chamber. After speaking, please move to the left side of our stage, your right, for a photo with our board chair, Paul Bender-Badesha. And then you can return to your table. First is Big Gun Exhaust. Next, and you could give them a round of applause. Next is Care Plus Pharmacy. Next up, Circle MSP. Next up is Corona Hills Fitness. Next is SoCal Edison. And next is Embark. Let's give them a round of applause.
Hi, my name is Conan. I'm the founder of Embark. We're a digital marketing agency supporting small businesses and nonprofits strategically leverage digital. I've been doing this for about 15 years, but I've actually only been in Corona for just over a year. My wife and 3 daughters, we've been embraced by this community, and that aligns with how we work at Embark. Everything that we do is about building relationships first. And that's our mindset in every business, website that we make and social campaign that we produce. So if you're interested in a digital partner, please reach out to us at embarkwork.com. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you very much. Next is I Care More Pharmacy. Yes. And next up is Harupa Valley Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you. Good morning. Tyler Byrne, President of the Chamber of Commerce for Harupa Valley. As a director, we had the opportunity of a sensitive time where someone had asked for Bobby to come and meet with us via Zoom at the time, which was interesting at the early days. But I was very taken back by how Bobby either held himself, as well as able to direct us as a chamber in a very sensitive time. As a president, I knew it was utmost importance that we go out and figure out how to do better in what we do. And I knew Bobby would be a great person to kind of rely on or to kind of lean on to see how things are done. I'm so happy now to be a part of the chamber. This is a beautiful crowd, awesome networking going on. Also joined the ELR program to learn more about what to do and how to do it. So it's just been a great experience. I thank Bobby, Karen, better half, has always been so much a part of Harupa Valley, and I've just taken pride in the family, even meeting the daughters as well. So thank you for the family of the Spiegels and the chamber, and I look forward to meeting you all, and I'm not trying to steal anybody away, but just trying to learn how to do chamber better. So thank you very much.
Awesome, thank you. Next, we have Merrick. If you give them a round of applause. And then we have Secure E-Waste Management. Let's give them a round of applause.
Hi, how you guys doing? I'm Jacob. I'm with Secure E-Waste Management. We're an electronics waste recycling facility. We're R2 V3 certified, so we can handle anything like batteries. We can destroy any data that's left on any of the devices, and we can pick it up for you guys at no cost for you. So anything from like school districts to small computer repair stores, we can help you guys out with it. The more you guys have, the more likely we're actually able to purchase it from you. So we like finding big companies that have a lot of e-waste that they're trying to get rid of or upgrading, and then we can purchase it from you guys. So that way it kind of helps us both out. Originally I'm from Kansas. I've been in California the past 3 years, and I live in Eastvale. I love it around here. And so I really wanted to kind of see how all the different chambers are, to get to know all the businesses and all the people around here, because it's a fantastic community.
Awesome, thank you. Next we have Tillamook Veterinary Clinic.
Morning, Corona, how you doing? My name is Dr. Richard Tellema. I've been practicing for over 20 years. We have Tellema Veterinary Clinic that's located at 708 North Main Street in Corona. We do a variety of things. We're a mixed animal practice, so we do large, small, and exotics. So we specialize in vet stem cell therapy, which I can talk to you about later. We also do acupuncture as well, orthopedics, spinal surgery, and we do mobiles as well. So come on down, give us a holler. We'll be more than happy to help you out, because more importantly, it's about our family, which is, to me, our pets. So I know a lot of you think that way too, so come on down, give us a holler. Two things. What time we got? We got a few more seconds. So support your local FFA. That's our Future Farmers of America. Without them, we'd be in trouble. We have a representative from Norco Ag Advisory Committee, and you can talk to him as well. And the shirt I have says red. I see a gentleman right over there that has it. So we need to remember everybody deployed. That's why we wear red on Friday. So let's not forget about our military as well. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you so much.
And just a quick note, we're actually having a client appreciation and anniversary party on October the 8th from 9 to 2, free food. There'll be like amazing animals. You get to meet and hang out with me, which is the most fun thing ever. So, and the doc, so this is good stuff. Come join us.
Thank you. And then next, I hope I get this correct, V&G Charcuterie. Is that right? Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Stacy Vasquez, and I'm the owner of V&G Charcuterie. You were very close. Thank you for trying. I just opened up a storefront in the shops at Dos Lagos, and we are a catering business. So whenever you have a special event or get together where you need a grazing table or a charcuterie board, I got you covered. We are a law enforcement owned business. I did just recently, thank you. I did just recently leave my department this year to pursue this business full time. My husband still serves as a police officer, and we just believe in serving our community in more ways than one, and I'm excited to be here, so thank you for having me.
Awesome, thank you so much. Thank you and welcome to the Chamber. Let's give them all a round of applause.
All right. Thank you, Robert. We're getting ready to set up the stage for the main event here. So no, it's not a fight, no main event. There's no wrestling going on. So, but anyway, it's going to be good. I wanted to give a couple quick quotes and some thank yous, but there was Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others?" And so Condoleezza Rice said, "Earn your success based on service to others, not at the expense of others." So we're going to get ready to bring up our candidates. Before that, we have a few announcements of things coming up. I wanted to acknowledge Kathy Armstrong. Is Kathy here? Kathy Armstrong, stand up. She helped facilitate and run our women's conference this year. It was great, Riverside County Women's Leadership. We offered the attendees, if they filled out a questionnaire, they got a chance to win $100. So I'm happy to say that I won. Oh, wait a minute, I didn't win. So it is Stacy Nicola. She won the $100. Is she here? All right, don't come to me, I don't have it. Yeah, go to one of the doctors, they probably got it. All right, so thank you, Kat. Oh, I do have it. Thank you. You can come on up here. Here's you go. $100 cash, as a matter of fact. Grace, turn around. No CPAs are watching this. Okay. All right, so a couple things coming up. Coffee with an Entrepreneur is now on Thursdays. Lonnie and Mary Scott with Bobcat Properties and Farms. They have the honey table back there. They're going to be our guest at Coffee with an Entrepreneur. October 21st, Good Morning Corona. I know we have Ken Calvert coming, our congressman. More importantly, Paul Bender-Badesha is the MC. So make sure you get at your table and book that. Good Morning Corona in November is honoring our military. That's the 10th. I think we're doing something with Prado Dam. Somebody's going to paint Prado Dam. I think we're groundbreaking on that. Pretty cool. Finally, we're doing that. There you go. Let's hear it. And I want you to stop by the booths in the back. We have Citrus Valley Medical, one of our sponsors, ABC Hopes, Bobcat Properties and Farms, Integrated Medical Center, M Health and Beauty, and Miguel's are all there. And so, yeah. So I got a few thank yous. I want to thank our sponsors, of course, Rhythm Tech Production, Citrus Valley Medical, our candidates that are here. And also want to thank our ambassadors. They get here early in the morning to set up. Jovi Morales with Kyocera Documents. Ray Samarsana with Signorama. Saul Shapiro, Liberate Debt. And Jairo Jaramillo with ADP. So I want to thank them. And let's hear it for all the servers here at the golf course here, all the servers that get here and help out. AV again by Rhythm Tech. So it's my honor to introduce our moderators. Oh, the stage is done. Wow, look at that. All right, our moderators today. All right, our moderators today. Paul Bender-Badesha, the 22 board chair. The Honorable Jeff Miller, Legislative Action Committee chair. And Dean Safe, our 2022 chair-elect. Let's hear it for our moderators. They'll be asking the questions. The candidates drew straws this morning and names on what order they were going to go in. So let me welcome to the stage Jackie Casillas, Wes Speak, Jim Steiner, and Serge Tulstikov. Let's hear it for them. Jeff, I'm turning it over to you, buddy.
Your mic's right there.
Thank you, John. Thank you, John. Good morning, everybody. We have an exciting candidate forum planned for you. I know I want to personally thank the candidates for stepping up. I'm so glad you're on that side of the table. I'm glad I'm on this side of the table. But it's really, really special and important that we find and we elect good quality candidates that work to make our community a better place to live and play. The candidates have already been introduced, and we're going to let them do a formal introduction and an opening statement. And the ground rules are pretty basic. Opening statement is 90 seconds. Closing statement will be 45 seconds. And answering the questions will be 30 seconds. 30 questions. Wow. John, we're gonna be here for breakfast and lunch. Okay, and 30 seconds to answer the questions, and we'll alternate. And I understand a lottery was already drawn, so you've already selected amongst yourselves who's gonna go first. So, Wes Speak is first. Go ahead.
Thanks, Jeff. Oh, there we go. Great. Good morning, Corona. My name is Wes Speak, and I love Corona. I know it sounds like a little bit like an AA meeting, right? But however, there is no place I would rather be than right here. I moved to Corona in 1980. I attended Rainey Junior High and Corona High School, and I have been here ever since. I raised my family here, and this is where I met, and I will marry the love of my life in November. She's an amazing longtime Corona business owner here in Eagle Glen, Mary Rigg. I'm extremely proud of what my colleagues and I have accomplished in the almost 4 years. The list is long, from saving the taxpayers $166 million, adding 15 sworn police officers and 4 firefighters, and bringing a redundant power line to Dos Lagos, and decreasing homelessness by 30%. And the list, like I said, very long. Number one issue, as it was last time, traffic. It's easy to point out issues. Even my grandson knows that traffic in Corona sucks. But making incremental improvements is possible, but it takes experience and the ability to work with our residents, regional and state partners. And I hope to continue this work over the next 4 years. 4 years ago, I sat here and with the need to invest in the business community, economic development, and we have. In the past 18 months, we have tripled the size of our economic development department and have 2 solid economic development strategic plans that will act as building blocks for the future. I have forged personal relationships with the owners of Dos Lagos, Bedford Marketplace, and the Lab, all with the goal of making business owners in Corona feel like we are personally invested in their success. Thank you so much, and bring on the questions.
Thank you. Next up.
I think we're in order.
Oh, you're already in order, okay.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Serge, and I'm running for City Council out of District 5. I'm not a politician, I'm a businessman. I've been in business since the ripe old age of 17. I'm 39 now, for those of you keeping track. The reason that I'm running for council is because I believe the Corona needs help. I see that we've had our traffic and our homeless reduced, but it's insufficient. I've never seen so many people argue with light poles as I do in Corona. It's ridiculous. We need to have intervention for that. Corona needs to have fresh new business brought in. We have outdated buildings, restaurants, parks, roads. Even our traffic light system is still waiting for its AI upgrade. We've lost our 911 center. We're now building a third version of a downtown that's going to reduce our traffic on Main Street down to 2 lanes. We haven't had a traffic report done on that yet, so it isn't solidified, but I did watch everybody get really excited once that happened. I asked, to what end? Corona has a huge budget, larger than many, which means that we have the power to make an incredible city and to make a more luxurious city that's better ran. Even our palm trees don't get trimmed enough. I do not claim to have a magic wand to solve all problems, but I do have the capacity for critical thinking, and I really want to get into it, and I want to get Corona to where it should be. Thank you.
Morning, everybody. To improving Oak Avenue sidewalk and street improvements that the citizens have been begging for about a decade. All that has been done. I promised to preserve as much open space as I could. As mayor in 2020, I spearheaded the purchase and acquisition of 292 acres at Skyline. And fortunately, Wes and Jackie and Yolanda Carrillo and Jason Scott were all on board with that as well. And I'm going to continue to fight for those more preservation. I advocated for recreational cannabis. I know it's controversial, but it's going to bring a lot of jobs and it's going to bring a lot of money, and it's here whether we like it or not. And also, Wes touched on the pension obligation bond. That was a kind of a big deal. So, thank you.
Good morning, Corona. My name is Jackie Casillas. I am a council member in District 1, and I'm a local, born and bred Coronan. I was born in the circle to first-generation Mexican immigrants. I'm here with my husband, Zach, and my 7-month-old daughter, Eleanor. She is my best campaign staffer at the moment. 4 years ago, we stood before you with a lot of promises and a lot of aspirations, and I can tell you now that we've delivered. Momentum is just growing, and we're doing a lot in the city of Corona, more than cities that are twice our size. We've delivered and saved taxpayer monies. We are reinvesting in our community and our economy. We've reopened parks that had been closed for over a decade. We are, growing our local economy with the introduction of new industries, and we are doing calculated risks that are getting us a little bit further every single time. And I'm running again because my list, although shortened over the last 4 years, there's still some items there that I want to see done, like a reinvestment in our city park, a beautification of 6th Street, the downtown mall reinvigoration, and a whole lot more. So I invite you to learn more about me on my website, JackieCasillas.com, and I look forward to more questions. Thank you.
Thank you. We up here are going to alternate questions. I'd like to start out with the first question, which is more of a kind of a general economic question, and it is: the state has had 5 months of falling tax receipts. While most sources acknowledge we are in at least a difficult economy in California, what are your top 2 priorities for the city to help employers survive in the next 4 years?
Starting with me?
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. That's a great question. I think our biggest part that I think we're pushing right now is the economic strategic plan that we're pushing, which is going to encourage investment here. Secondly, our Live Work Corona program, which is basically bringing people that leave, or people that are already going to Orange County and in LA, bringing them to Corona employees so they can get off the freeway and have our employees here in Corona. Thank you.
Same question. Yep. Scroll down.
Recession is a horrible time for any kind of a business. And we're playing around with the words. We are in a recession. We've had significant losses of income and taxes. And what we need to do is support our businesses in the recession. How do we do that? Well, it's not an easy task. Every business is different. Every business has different requirements. What we can do is provide them with resources within the city that allow them to continue to function and to grow. The city needs to step up on that. We don't have any programs in Corona for businesses.
Actually, we got a lot of programs in Corona for business, but so my two, Wes touched on it. We have our strategic plan, then that's going to help us guide a lot of things on how we deal with business. One of the things that's going to be rolling out from the strategic plan is we are putting together the guidelines to use ARPA funding to support small businesses, to do grants for small businesses that are struggling. So that should help tremendously.
I want to tack on to, aside from the Live Work Corona, which is a partnership with the Chamber, and aside from the ARPA funding grants, which are all big lifts, another great program, because we have a lot of them in the city of Corona, is the Entrepreneur Program and the Emprendedores Program, which is a way to help new businesses. You don't know what you don't know, and when you're getting started, sometimes it's really important to have not just mentorships, but inside track. And so the city is working through, and it's a free workshop for new and beginning businesses. Thank you.
This next question is from the audience, and we'll start with you, Serge, and then go to Jim, and then Jackie, and then you, Wes. What will you do to make sure the city continues to provide access to healthcare, specifically hospital and emergency care? That's a question that's also important to me and many in this audience.
Well, right now we have Corona Regional. I'm glad that we have another hospital that's opening up. I think that we need to make sure that our hospitals are doing what they should be. Corona Regional has issues. I've been a customer of Corona Regional myself, and it's not good. But I've lost friends that have been to Corona Regional, and I think that it's a very good thing that we're bringing in a new hospital, and that's definitely something that we've needed for a long time here in this city.
We want a thriving medical district in our community, and working with the CEO of Corona Regional, it takes a lot. He's trying to relocate it. We support expanding, relocating. We just really having difficulty on finding a location that both sides can agree on, but we're going to continue our discussions. We absolutely want to make sure Corona Regional does not leave this community.
I was born at Corona Regional, and they're actually an award-winning hospital. They received an award for their birth center, so they're doing good things, and their new state-of-the-art emergency wing is fantastic. So we want to support the hospital in their endeavors. Having a good hospital here locally is good for our community. It's just about finding ways to make that happen.
Thank you. My grandson was born at Corona Regional. My daughters were born at Corona Regional. I'm a big fan. I think that how far they've come in the last 5 to 10 years has been amazing. I'm looking forward to supporting their expansion. They are our second largest employer in the city. They are going to be the key catalyst for anything that happens downtown. You have hundreds of doctors and nurses that are there every single day looking to spend money downtown. They're going to be absolutely a key piece, making sure that they're happy, their employees are happy, is job number one for us.
Great, thank you very much. Next question, we're going to start off with Jim, then we'll go to Jackie, and then Wes, and then Serge. This question comes from a business owner in the Rincon Road area. 1 million square feet of new distribution warehousing is being completed just off Lincoln, above Rincon Road. Rincon Road already severely underserves the Dairy Park project on the corner of Lincoln and Rincon, along with other businesses located along Rincon. When will the city commit the resources to bring this heavily traveled road up to a commercial standard commensurate to the continually growing traffic it incurs?
Yeah, this is certainly part of the growing pains of a growing community. And transportation dollars are very hard to come by, but we are going to continue to have our public works work directly with RCTC. We have an outstanding representative from the Corona City Council on RCTC, and Mr. Speak. So we're going to lobby for the dollars. We are going to just have our professionals working together to try to make those improvements. They are needed. We needed, as a firefighter, on some of those streets, it was very difficult just to get down, so I'm stopped talking now.
Sorry. It's intimidating, isn't it? And it's interesting because this area actually has multiple jurisdictions, and currently there's a raising of a dam. So there are a lot of moving pieces, and it's exacerbating the traffic issues. So, but I cannot say this enough, that we have a great representative on the RCTC board who is literally fighting tooth and nail, reads every agenda, doesn't let them get by on anything. And if there are any infrastructure dollars, Wes is going to get them for us.
Thank you. I think with Rincon Road, the biggest issue is completing the dam project. Once the dam project comes in, there's going to be dollars that are going to be spent there to ensure the pickup. But even doing it now would be kind of a waste of money. I can say, however, we did fight for Measure A dollars, some additional money to fix, if those of you that have come down Lincoln and you've hit that bump and you've maybe lost a little bit of a car there, you probably saw an improvement here in the last couple of months. We fixed that. We're going to be completely redoing the bridge. And I think very little of the dollars are going to come from the city of Corona. The rest are coming from Caltrans and from the state through grants that our wonderful department came up with. Thank you.
That's a really good question, and it actually brings me to my point of the traffic and what we're doing with reducing lanes on roads that we can't really afford to do. We need to get our roads up, and that's one of the things that, one of the reasons that I'm running. Government works at the speed of smell. We need to do something about that. There's got to be a way to speed things up and make things work faster than they do right now. Road construction is definitely something that we need to be looking into. We don't even have speed bumps on our own residential roads, people going 100 miles an hour. These are things that all need to be looked into. I absolutely agree with you.
I go first, right?
Yeah, Jackie, you go next. This is also from the audience, and again, a question that's important to me as a business owner, and it has affected me severely in the past. How are you assisting businesses that are affected by homelessness, people and drug addicts, and vandalism, defecations, loitering, etc.?
I'm very proud of the way that Corona is addressing homelessness. We're addressing it head on. And it's through compassion and enforcement, because those things have to go together for homelessness. It is not compassionate to let somebody sleep in a tent in a park and set up a porta potty and a hand washing station. And it's also not okay to arrest someone who is clearly having a health crisis. And so the way we're helping businesses is twofold. We have a business liaison with our PD, and we also have a good neighbor policy for our upcoming homeless shelter. So we want to make sure we're taking care of businesses while addressing homelessness.
I'm very proud to have supported the CARES Act, the CARE Court Act that was signed this week by the governor. Mayor Locke Dawson and I co-wrote an op-ed really pushing the fact that we're going to be able to take people that are mentally ill and drug addicted and put them in places where they can get help. We treat animals better than we treat people. And so allowing people to stay on the street and hurt themselves is inhuman. And I'm happy to see this go forward. Hopefully in October, when it becomes law and becomes enforceable, that we can find the money to do that and push it forward and actually impact our businesses' lives. Thank you.
We've just moved our company over here back into Corona from Anaheim, and our landlord has gone out there and spent hundreds of thousands of dollars renovating his building. He's improved the way that it looks. He's put up cages around his trash cans. He's got, the only thing we're lacking is an actual security guard that walks around the property. My point is that if that's something that we need to be doing to handle the homelessness and defecation on our property, perhaps the city needs to have a grant that allows people to apply to and help pay for some of that stuff. This guy just bought the property and now is investing even more.
So Ms. Casillas brought up the business liaison program. That absolutely helps. That connects PD with the business owners to get that relationship established. Wes brought up the community care. But we're going to continue doing what we're doing. 33% reduction from the last point in time count is already helping our businesses. We're going to continue that. Our homeless shelters will be opening after the first of the year. That will get more of the chronically homeless off the street. It's a shitty battle, and we're just going to keep fighting.
No pun intended, right there.
Just gonna let that sit a little bit. Okay, this question, let's see, who's first now? Wes? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Last try.
Ready.
Getting old. Okay, as a business owner inside the circle, or right on the circle, this question is important to me. After 30 years of charrettes, study groups, workshops, meetings, and with development partnerships with some of the most incredible successful developers have not materialized. How will downtown Corona look 4 years from now if you are on the council?
Thank you, sir. I think with in 4 years, you're going to see the South Mall, which has actually started already. The North Mall is a much more complicated position. However, with our downtown revitalization plan, there's dollars in there. There are a concrete plan to carry things forward. We've hired a redevelopment administrator to help bring businesses in. We're going to be investing in our streetscapes. We're going to be investing in the way that the city looks as you come into it, an inviting area. And with that catalyst project downtown at the mall, you're going to see that really just, explode.
Downtown. Beautiful area, but it's lacking things. We need to have businesses that are alive there. If we're building a downtown and we're investing a lot of money to do so, we should also be investing into things like having car chargers for all the electric cars that are coming up, having solar panels to power those things. I saw the plans for the city for the building coming up, which was exciting and it looks beautiful, but it is lacking some of those other things. So those are things that I would want to add.
When it comes to downtown, I don't make any promises because we've seen what's gone on for the last several decades. However, I will say that this is as close as we've ever been to getting started on downtown. And work is already just barely starting at the Showcase Theater. And I believe that once that gets going, there's going to be a lot of buzz around it, and I think the momentum's going to pick up, and we are going to see this downtown.
And I'd like to add, why do you get applause? I'd like to add that, Jim's right. This is the closest we've ever gotten. And the reality is that there's a little bit of misconception. The city is not a developer. The reinvigoration, the investment has to come through partnerships. And so these are public-private partnerships. And the downtown mall will be a catalyst. There will be investment from the city in a 6th Street beautification. That's already in queue. But the rest of it has to be this organic, partnerships and attention from businesses and private dollars to come back into our center. So it's going to take all of us working together to make that happen.
Sorry, I was trying to time and ask a question. Okay, lovelies. While the city has been working on permitting cannabis business is well into that process, the illegal sale of THC products has increased exponentially. Can't say that word. How will you, over the next 4 years, work to eliminate the growth of illegal sales whilst collecting taxes generated by our cannabis businesses?
I think that once our city has cannabis dispensaries, we need to make sure that we have the enforcement for those dispensaries. There are many things that need to happen in a dispensary. For example, keeping track of where it's actually going. making sure that, that the product isn't flying off the shelves. The illegal cannabis business that is out there now will die down once that happens naturally. We need to make sure that we keep it out of our schools, though.
Well, I spearheaded this topic, so I believe that the best way to minimize the illegal businesses out there is by keeping the taxes and fees as low as possible. So when we go to the dispensary to get what we need, we're going to go to the one that's safe and reasonably priced rather than going into an illegal dispensary. There's not many of them. They do pop up once in a while, and we pounce on them as soon as they do.
Ditto. Absolutely. We keep the fees low, we keep the taxes low. The only thing I would add is that we added 15 sworn officers to our PD force. Enforcement is a big deal, and we are jumping on it as soon as we become aware of them. Thank you.
Jackie said it perfect. We've hired a sergeant that will head up this program, working with the DA's office. They have a whole program set up to do this in the sheriff's department. As Jim said, when there's an illegal shop that pops up, I mean, we squash it before it even happens. In fact, not only squash it, we find them, we find the property owner. We've made money on them, so maybe if there's somebody that wants to open one, we could use an extra couple $100,000. But our enforcement is going to be top notch. One of the reasons that we have taxes on it is low. We're trying to keep it low, but at the same time, we want to make sure it pays for that enforcement and it pays for any other issues that happen to pop up. Thank you.
So Jim, this question comes to you. There are two questions from the audience, basically the same. So I'll read one and I'll add part of the second question to that. And the question goes as this. What are your plans to fix traffic in Corona, specifically Ontario Avenue and 15 Freeway? And the part from the other question is maybe using federal funds.
Well, traffic will probably never be fixed in Corona, but we are going to continue working on it. At Ontario and 15, there's already a plan to widen. Wes can talk more about that. To widen that, we try to get federal funds, we try to get state funds, we try to get RCTC funds, we try to get any funds we can get to improve our traffic situation. But because of our geographical location, because this is a cut-through community, you're never going to just cruise through town. So we just got to get used to that.
That's a sad truth, but I will add some optimism here, is that while we don't have jurisdiction over the freeways, we do and can make traffic signals smarter so that when you're going from Corona to Corona on our city streets, if there's no other car waiting in line, your light can be green. And so we're investing in AI technology so that your transportation within the city, which is the stuff that we can actually control, is smoother. The other thing is, working and living in Corona. Let's keep our Coronans off the freeways. If people are on the freeways, maybe they're going to spend dollars here. But if you have your work here and you can spend your dollars here, that's the best way we can solve that issue for our residents.
Thank you for this question. It's a great question. It is being widened. The plan is done. The engineering is done. The environmental is done. And speaking of federal dollars, we actually got $5 million from Congressman Calvert. Thank you, Congressman Calvert. And we've also attracted money from RCTC and from, the state is being very stingy with transportation dollars right now. They want them to all go into trails and bike lanes. So we're trying to incorporate some bike lanes, some things to try and get some money from them. But I'm fully prepared to say that this widening should be started in 2023.
Corona will be a drive-through community as long as Corona does not have business that forces people to live here. If you have a business in Corona, your employees live in Corona, they invest into Corona, they shop in Corona, traffic gets reduced. We have toll roads that are forcing us to increase traffic because that's how they get their revenue. The problem is that we're saying that we're going to put up with the drive-through part of Corona and that we're not going to do anything about it. I disagree with that. I think that we need to address that and take that head on.
All right.
I go first on this next one.
Who went first? Yeah, we'll go. We did West down. Now we'll do Jackie down.
Okay.
On closing.
Okay.
Closing.
Okay.
We're going to let these business owners get back to their businesses and generate all this tax revenue and hopefully bring jobs. Okay, we got a 45-second closing statement by each candidate, and Jackie is first.
I just want to thank you all. I want to take a moment to thank the Chamber. These candidate forums, this is, I believe, the only one we're going to have this year. I want to thank you for making this happen. Bobby, wherever you are, I appreciate you. There you are. And thank you, Corona businesses and Corona residents. We have great momentum, but it's only because we're in this together, and you all are investing. You're taking the surveys we're asking you to take. You're participating in the community meetings. Please keep doing that. We are here to serve. You have a council that is active, engaged, and wanting to make a difference. So engage with us, stay involved, and I look forward to getting more done in the next 4 years. Thank you.
Well, I ran for office because Bobby Spiegel told me it was going to be really fun and rewarding and everybody's going to be nice. No, really, I ran because I thought the citizens would appreciate my work ethic, my hands-on approach to solving problems, my accessibility, my style of communication, and I knew I could deliver the results. Hundreds of District 4 residents have endorsed me or given their heartfelt testimonial as to why they support me. And I think it's not really about what I think of myself, it's what the citizens think of me. So I encourage you to check out my website again at jimsteinerforcorona.com. I think it speaks for itself. And when I'm reelected, I promise to develop programs to help the postmenopausal women.
Wow. Good job, Jim. I crossed it off my list.
I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here and to engage with you wonderful people on this incredibly late morning. I want to close on this thought. If we have minimal requirements for releasing information that are given to us by ever so trusted government, should we really rely on those minimums, or do we want true transparency from our council? I already am in business. I'm not looking to become a developer or a builder. I'm here to get us an amazing city. Not just with history, because let's face it, each town has history. After all, choosing to vote for me means that you're choosing a candidate in support of the police, fire, and EMS. It means you're choosing a father who wants the absolute best for his family and especially the city that we live in. I do not ask for your vote lightly. Thank you for your consideration.
It's been an honor to serve the 5th District of Corona since 2018 as the mayor this year. 4 years ago, I asked residents and businesses to allow me to speak for change, and change we have. The city has seen tremendous top-down and bottom-up change, and we are poised for even more success. From the top, we have overhauled our city management with an emphasis on fiscal health, rebuilding our public safety numbers, parks, and economic development. We have completed audits of all departments, completed a citywide class and compensation study, reevaluated our culture, and made improvements that have drawn top talent from across the region and the country. The result is our staff is more engaged and more energized to serve our businesses and our residents. I am transparent, I am open, and I am available, and I am engaged. I have a lot more to do to complete my mission to change Corona. I'd like you to make sure that you vote for West Speak for Corona City Council District 5. If you'd like to learn more about me, please go to speakforcorona.com. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, candidates. Let's give them another round of applause.
All right, let's stand up, give them a round of applause. Meeting adjourned. Go meet some people, go to the back of the room and support our vendors. The candidates are going to hang around for the next 3 hours.